Hello Illuminati, I am Jeremy Mason McGraw. I am the inventor of the original Halumin and the new Halumin-C. We're on Kickstarter right now and we would appreciate your support. It is a device made for helping you to photograph coins and small collectibles with your phone or whatever camera you're most comfortable with. And what this video is going to show you is a specific problem that a lot of people have. It's mainly proof coins, and we're going to add to the challenge by using a proof coin in a slab. So you have two reflective surfaces to work with. It's very tricky to get a really solid picture of the coin because with shiny surfaces, you're not lighting with the lights that hit it, you're lighting with the things that it reflects. And the Halumin-C is built with that in mind. First thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna tilt the halo all the way to the side, and I'm gonna use this handy tray to pull out the current slab that I have in there and put in this proof coin that we're gonna work with. Slide it back in there. And now we're going to turn on the phone. All right, so the first thing I do whenever I'm setting up the lighting for any coin is I set the halo flat and I set the lighting evenly on the halo at about 50%. That is not going to be great light for your coin, but what it is going to do is to allow me to set the focus and exposure just like that. So now we've got the whole slab framed in the picture, as you can see, and we've got a nice light, and the camera is locked. So when I go to black, it goes to black. It's not going completely to black because I have that side hatch open, but when I close the side hatch, you can see it's dark in there. You want it to be able to go completely to black when you're working with lighting because you want to be able to adjust the lights. So quickly, what I'll do is I'm going to rock the halo back and forth. So see how this takes on different qualities of the coin depending on the angle that that halo is at. So Ben Franklin's face really lights on fire. When you get in this direction, you get in that direction, you start to see more of the details on the back of his head. But we don't ever see the field of that coin illuminate, and that's a problem for a lot of shots because sometimes you want to see that milky reflection so that people know that that coin's not black on the back. But you don't have to. Some collectors actually like it dark, and in some situations the design, it helps to see the design if you've got a lot of contrast. So you can kind of choose whether you want to have a dark reflection on the field of the coin or whether you want a milky white reflection. And I do that simply by this slider number 1. We call it the field light. You bring that up, and that is your axial light right there. So now that whole coin illuminates because there is this panel here that's illuminating on that piece of clear acrylic. It's illuminating that coin. So we can pick how bright we want that to be. The brighter it gets, the more it starts to reflect on the slab itself. So you want to keep that kind of this medium spot where you don't have too much haze from the slab, but you can see the reflection. But you also have the ability to use this tone light. When I bring that up, you'll see all of that definition on Ben Franklin's face suddenly comes out. I can slide that back and forth to where I want it. I like it on the back there because it really highlights his hair, and Ben work so hard at getting that hairstyle to look good. We don't want to ignore all the work he puts into that. If I take down half of the halo and bring up the other half, I can focus more light on his face if I want to really get that profile to shine. Or I can really make that a lot more subtle. Some people prefer to see a lot less of that, and so you can do that just by adjusting those just like that. So we've captured the coin, but say you want to make a cool little video as well, you can do that very easily. I slide this out. I'm going to pull the slab holder off. I'm going to put this little turntable into the slot, put the slab holder for the turntable there. Now if I take the halo and I tweak it all the way that way so it's in the right position for the turntable, I can slide this back in here. And we're about to have a little bit of fun with that. I'm going to turn off sliders 1 and 2 completely for the moment. I'm going to turn slider number 4 all the way up so that it illuminates on the top there. And you can see that's not doing a lot of light on Ben Franklin's face. So that's where these little spotlights come in. I can bring those up, and those are made to kind of like fill in the face of that coin, and then I just pick which way I want the turntable to turn. I'm doing it counterclockwise, and then I can slowly turn on that motor and find the right speed. So you can see, I'll turn it up a little bit faster than that, but you can see when it goes around, there's that little bit of reflection from the halo that's putting it all over. We don't necessarily want that. You can have that. It makes the whole slab look cool, except for when it gets to that point, you have that white line that kind of goes across the face. So I can take that completely out, and I can turn up the spotlights a little bit more. I can also use the tone light to backlight that slab a little bit and give it a little bit of definition on there when it's turning around. So now you've got that gleam that's going across the face of the coin. It's showing you all of the details on both sides of the slab. This is a great video setup for live streaming and selling, like on Whatnot, eBay Live, TikTok. You can just put the coin in there and you can talk about it, and it's rotating and it's showing off what you've got. If you, next item, you just pull that out just like this. I'm sitting behind the device, so I got to reach a little bit further. And you put the next item on like this. That's a raw coin. It needs a little bit different lighting, so I'm turning up the half of the halo to illuminate that raw coin, and there you go, ready to go. You also have the ability to do something completely different. If you want to show off your branding or to make a more dynamic image, the lid isolates all the light and creates a closed system so that you don't have a lot of the room light feeding in on it and giving you all kinds of weird reflections and stuff like that. But in some cases, if you're just showing the device on a turntable and you've got some control over your room light, it's actually kind of cool. Take the lid off and then you expose everything that is behind the device. So now you've got a background to work with. I've got all these items here. I'm just gonna, set it like that. So now you've got a background to work with. So anything back here is now visible in that shot, but it's darker, it's lit differently. So you can have like that blue light that you can see around, right around here. You could have your logo, you could have your channel information, anything behind you, and it's branded. And then makes it really quickly when you're switching out items. Just pull that one out, put that one in, and there you go, ready to go. That's basically how you use the Halumin-C for lighting a proof coin in a slab, which is a level of difficulty that a lot of people have problems with. That was with your phone. You can also use a larger camera simply by switching out the lid of the lid and then putting this larger opening on. That'll allow you to use a big camera and a copy stand.